keep looking at our van because, as Matt said, it's pretty much mooing right now, which is embarrassing, but also funny to watch them just look up and be like, what is that? What kind of cow is that? Yeah. So we're just gonna make it as far south as possible today. I found a couple stops along the way to just make a trip out of it. I found a coffee shop to help get us fueled up, and each stop we're just gonna let the van rest, and hopefully it'll get us home. Fingers crossed that we make it. Well, we're actually not gonna make it to home tonight. We're gonna try to make it as far south as Gainesville, Florida, which is like the farthest north area of Florida, and then stay a night at another farm if we can find one that will let us stay. I think we will. Ready to go. Getting so much better with electricity and figuring stuff out, because as we're driving we just realized why our heater is not working, or the heater works, but after like a minute it like the whole system just stops working, and we realized it's because we used a link from another YouTuber for this fuse.
It's like a 100 amp fuse.
A 100 amp fuse that was between our battery and our inverter. And we have a 2,000 watt inverter, which can take up to like 6,000 watts of surge. And so like obviously, well, that might not be obvious. What we're realizing is like that's too small of a fuse. And I didn't realize that was what that was. I thought it came with our inverter or something. So we just weren't on the same page, and now that we are, we're like, oh, no wonder it's blowing, because the little heater that I've had, I used it on my boat for like 2 years and only would have issues if I was cooking and using the heater at the same time, so I didn't know how it wasn't working. But now we're realizing we need a bigger fuse, since my heater was like a 1,500 watt heater, and I think that's about 150 amps, I think. So it's gonna keep blowing every single time. So yeah, that's a little update, and the nice and relieving and refreshing thing is that you've seen how crazy and frustrated we've been about electricity, but it's been just a learning experience, and now we're like starting to actually get it, and it's becoming like basic knowledge for us, so it's pretty exciting. Okay, gonna keep driving, and maybe we'll be able to use our heater tonight if we have the tools to take that fuse off. I don't know, but we'll do it when we get home, if anything.
Do you remember where we parked?
What?
I'm happy.
So we just stopped and got some coffee, and now we're going to this little river Greenway park to have some brunch, I guess would be what we're gonna call it.
Yes, we can call it brunch.
Before driving some more. think it's gonna be really pretty here, and a very nice random stop that we didn't plan, but I found on Google Maps, just kind of finding stuff along our way. Here we go. Having some yogurt. I got some pictures of this really pretty view back there. Cute little picnic table. Yeah. It's a nice little peace and quiet before dealing with the rattling more. And we'll head to another place farther south to eat lunch. Take some more pictures, and then do it all over again. It's actually a lot more pleasant than I thought it was going to be, because we're enjoying it even though we know there's a lot to be done once we get home. To the next park we're going to. I forget what it's called. It's like it's got some like really blue water from what I could tell. And we've decided we're gonna drive through the night since we can't find a place in Florida to stay at for Harvest Host. And yeah, so we're gonna take a little nap, eat a little food, do a little walk, have our day here, and then get home. This is a really nice little neighborhood.
Yeah.
During our walk, I'll show you a little bit of the nature and maybe some of the pictures that Matt and I take, and finish up our trip. Super not what we expected for this trip, but very much needed break from our day-to-day life, and this is obviously not what we see every day. You getting good pictures?
I am. I got some bumblebees.
Oh, are you getting some of flowers too?
Well, bees in the flowers.
Oh.
It's like a 2-for-1.
Okay, let's see some more.
Yeah.
So I thought that we were going to this spring park thing that we're gonna go to next, and I accidentally put the wrong location into Google Maps, and we drove, I don't know, a little bit out of the way. I had it started on the map as a potential last night, and then I decided we weren't gonna go here, but then we ended up here. And it's really pretty. It's like a garden, and what's really ironic is that this morning when we went to leave the winery, Matt picked a flower for me and handed it to me, and it's really pretty. It's in the van still. And I didn't know what type of flower it was, and I told him it was really nice smelling, and both of us couldn't figure out what kind of flower it was. And we just figured, oh, it's a type that doesn't grow near us. And then 3 hours later, we end up at a spring, in my mind, and we instead are at this garden that I accidentally sent us to, and it's an entire garden center for the type of flower that he picked me. So we're learning all about camellias today. And I just find it funny how the universe works sometimes, and every time you think you know what you're doing, you really don't. And if you just go with it, then you might end up somewhere really beautiful like this, because I almost had us keep going since I didn't think we were going to stop here. And then I realized, no, like it would be nice to see some flowers and take a little walk since we've been driving all day. And now we're absorbing ourselves in nature with flowers like these. Look at how pretty it is. Oh, so here we are. And I figured I would share that with you because some days I get frustrated when things don't go the way that I think that they're going to go, or that I think I want them to go. But in the end, like, no matter what way things go in life, you can make the best of it. And a lot of times you will be pleasantly surprised when you realize that it might have been a better outcome than what you expected. So I'll leave you with one of these flowers. Which one? Oh, look at these ones. Look at how these ones go from a little pinkish bud to something like this. Very white. Isn't that neat? And then, as you can tell, there's lots of nectar that apparently the ants like to eat. We just found the Japanese garden area. We've been here 2 seconds, and Matt is already playing with the fish. Apparently I have to watch where I'm stepping because there's a big river. No, there's like, you can't even see it. There's a little area for the water to go through. This is actually really nice here. It's really quaint and peaceful and everything that we needed for our afternoon. And then look at this little, I don't remember what these things are called, but it's really cute little corner of the place. I'm pretty sure I can step. Behind me is a tree that was formerly known, or was formerly listed as extinct. It's called the Dawn redwood. Do you see the huge redwood behind us? It's not super tall because it's like broken off at the top, but I guess they thought that this type of redwood was extinct, and it's like a member of the sequoia family. And then they found them again in the 1930s, and they distributed seeds to different gardens to continue on their life. So that's really cool. It's really noticeable and very prominent in this little courtyard. So figured I would share that one because Matt and I really want to eventually move to the West Coast of the US, and yeah, we love huge trees like that, and that was exciting to see here and not what you would expect in the middle of Georgia. We'll leave you with that picture, and then we'll go to our next spot, which who knows where it is, because clearly everywhere I think we're going is not where we're going this weekend. Insane. Time for some lunch. Matt and I just got the door open with a whole big forest of pecan trees in front of us. We're eating our
Is it pecan or pecan?
I don't know. I think it depends on where you're from, how you say it, or something like that. Look at this. So pretty out there. Alright. Back on the road. This is the big trip. Big leg. The big deal. Because we're gonna try to make it back home. And just sleep at rest stops on the way home. And hope and pray that we make it home in one piece and that we don't lose an alternator in the middle of the interstate. And if we do, we'll just keep driving until we have to stop. Does that seem safe? Like I asked the question at the dealership, and I asked him if our alternator literally just like combusted and blew up and didn't exist anymore, dropped out of the bottom of the van. Oh, I gotta look at all of the cotton. Okay, that was cotton fields. We've been driving by tons of them, which I guess cotton, like the brand cotton, is made here. And there's like even a museum and stuff. We didn't go to it, but figured I would show some B-roll of that because it looks pretty cool. Little white speckles all over the ground. Anyways, so yeah. Asked the dealership guy and the service guy if the alternator literally fell out of the bottom of the van because of the fact that that's what it's trying to do right now, and that's why it's making all this noise. If it caused a chain reaction and if it would mess up anything else, and he said no, it might mess up, it might affect the water pump like belt, but that's about it. We might have to buy a new one of those. Fine. But otherwise, as long as we can charge our battery, that's all we really need to do, and we could drive for quite a while even without an alternator, since the battery would be fully charged, and we would just drain it 50% and then charge it again. So hopefully we don't have to get to that stage. Hopefully we get home and then it can fall out of its butt and it'll be okay. That's very calm. I'm a little nervous. But so it's actually not nearly as loud right now as it was yesterday, so I have hope that we're gonna make it home. And then we get to see our cats, because I'm actually homesick since we're not doing like wild and crazy adventuring right now. We're kind of moseying around like retirees. We fit right into the retirement community right now. Alright, I'm gonna stop rambling and show you the B-roll, beautiful scenes of our trip home, and hopefully that's the end of this video. Let's hope we don't see you again until next time. Thank you. Goodbye. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. There's Matt. Matt's over here. it down to the bottom, to the middle of Florida. We made it home, and our alternator is still in the van. It's still ticking away.
It is ticking.
It's super loud, and we, I think we went through like 3 different drive-thrus, and I was really embarrassed every single time. But we made it home. We are going to be safe, and I'm so thrilled to be home to sleep, see our cats, and actually take care of our van, our poor van. She's in rough shape right now, but we're gonna nurture her back to good health until next time. But Matt is obviously really thrilled about being home.
And my butt's numb, so I can't wait to get standing.
It's late. We're both really tired.
Yeah.
Good night.